Let me ask you something honest. How much are you spending on AI tools every month? Because if you are anything like me, you have got Claude Pro for writing and reasoning, GPT Plus for general tasks, maybe a separate tool for images, another one for video, and before you know it, you are paying for 4 or 5 subscriptions and still jumping between tabs, trying to figure out which model actually handles your specific task the best. I got tired of that, so I started looking for a better way to work. That is when I came across ChatLLM by Abacus AI. I put the ChatLLM link in the description so you can check it out easily. And honestly, I was skeptical at first because every platform claims to do everything. But after actually putting it through my real workflow, I want to show you what I found. So let's get into it. Before we look at the features, it helps to understand what Abacus AI actually is, because this is not just another chatbot wrapper. Abacus AI is an enterprise-grade AI platform that has been around for a while, mostly serving data teams and large organizations. ChatLLM is their unified interface, built on top of that infrastructure, and it gives you access to all the major large language models, image generators, video generators, and AI agents from one single place. The goal is not just convenience, it is about giving you the right tool for the right job without you having to manually figure that out every time. Now, when you first open the dashboard, one of the first things you will notice is a section at the top called RouteLLM, and this is genuinely one of the more interesting parts of the platform. Here is the idea. Instead of you manually picking between Claude, GPT, Gemini, or Grok every single time you write a prompt, RouteLLM acts as an intelligent layer that reads your input, understands what kind of task you're actually trying to do, and then routes it to the model that is most likely to give you the best result. Inside, you will find all the major models available: Claude Sonnet 4.6, GPT 5.2, Gemini 3.1 Pro, Grok, Kimi K 2.5, and more. But the point is, you do not have to think about that selection every time. The system handles it. I wanted to test this on something real, not some hand-picked demo prompt designed to make a product look good. I build RAG systems, fast API backends, and ML pipelines regularly. So I dropped in a real task, building the backend architecture for a RAG-based chatbot using FastAPI. I did not touch the model selector. I just wrote the prompt and let RouteLLM decide. It routed the task to Claude, which honestly makes sense because Claude is one of the strongest models for structured code generation right now. And within seconds, it was producing clean, well-commented backend code that I could actually work with. That part impressed me, not because it wrote code, every AI does that now, but because the routing decision was correct without me having to intervene. But code generation through a chat interface is still just a chatbot doing what chatbots do. What I was more curious about was the agent layer, specifically something called the deep agent. Here is the difference. A chatbot responds to your input. An agent takes a goal and figures out the steps to get there on its own. When you open the Deep Agent dashboard, you can connect it to external platforms: Google Drive, Gmail, GitHub, YouTube, and a growing list of others. This means you are not just prompting an AI, you are giving it access to your actual work environment. To really stress test this, I gave it a task that sounded almost unreasonable. I asked it to build a fully functional Candy Crush mobile game from scratch. No template, no starter code, just the prompt. Within minutes, and I want to be clear about how wild this is, it had generated the entire file structure, the game logic, the UI, and a working preview I could interact with. I played the game. It worked. Matching candies, scoring, level progression, all of it. Something like that, built manually, would take a developer the better part of several weeks. Here, it came together in minutes, and when you are ready to share it, There is a deploy button built right in. One click, and it is live. Now, beyond the agent and the coding side of things, the platform also handles image and video generation, and this is an area that has been moving incredibly fast lately. For image generation, head over to the image section inside ChatLLM. Once you are there, the first thing you do is pick your model. I went with Nano Banana Pro for this one, then write your prompt. Just describe the image you want as clearly as you can. After that, set your aspect ratio depending on where you plan to use the image, then dial in your resolution. You can go all the way up to 4K. Then hit generate and let it work. The output was sharp, well composed, and detailed in a way that felt intentional. Not like the kind of quality where you could drop it straight into a project without spending time cleaning it up. Also, the video generation works in a pretty similar way. Click the More button on the dashboard and select the video generation option from there. Once you are in, pick your model. I went with Kling model for this test. Then, write your prompt describing the scene or motion you want. Now, here is something I actually liked. You can upload a starting frame image if you want the video to begin from a specific visual. I use this myself, and it gives you a lot more control over the final direction of the output. After that, set your aspect ratio, choose your duration, lock in your resolution, and generate. What came back was genuinely usable. It was not Hollywood level production, but that is not the point. As a draft, a concept visualization, or a starting point for a bigger creative project, the output was solid enough to actually work with. There is also a built-in tool called Humanize Response, which is designed to help your content read more naturally, useful if you are working in contexts where AI-generated text needs to feel less mechanical. Now, here is something I think actually matters and does not get talked about enough. Before I use any AI platform seriously, especially one where I might be uploading code, documents, or client work, I want to know where that data is going. I looked into how Abacus AI handles this, particularly for models like DeepSeek that have raised privacy questions. According to their documentation, DeepSeek on their platform runs on US hosted infrastructure. Your data is not being routed to external servers abroad, and it is not being used to train models. That kind of transparency is something I actually look for before committing to a tool for professional use. One more thing worth mentioning. Abacus AI also has a desktop application that brings the same capabilities directly into your local environment. So instead of living inside a browser tab, the agent can work alongside you on your actual system, interacting with local files and workflows. For developers and people who work across a lot of different tools, that distinction matters. And then there is the pricing, which is honestly where this either clicks for you. If you are already paying for Claude Pro, GPT Plus, and a couple of other tools separately, those costs stack up faster than you think. ChatLLM puts all of that under one subscription in just $10 per month with compute-based pricing. So you only pay for what you actually use. If you are already juggling multiple AI subscriptions, it is worth running that comparison yourself. So, who is this actually for? Developers tired of tab switching, founders prototyping fast, and creators who want text, image, and video without managing 5 different accounts. It is not a casual chatbot. It is a centralized AI workspace, and from what I tested, it delivers on that. The link is in the description below. If you are already spending money on multiple AI subscriptions, I would genuinely recommend giving ChatLLM a look. It is one of those platforms where everything text generation, image creation, video production, and AI agents lives under one roof.